Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. It's Mary Jane, and let's talk about Love and Hip Hop New York Season 9, Episode 1, and I'm here for it. We got all types of real situation. We got, Juelz Santana, facing charges, facing jail time. He might go away for 5 years. He might go away for 18 to 21 months. He's on house arrest. He's living with his mom because he didn't marry his children's mother after 9 years. We got Joe's situation. He's too busy working and doing all this other stuff, trying to secure that bag and brand himself as a new man. And, Sin is feeling neglected because she's suffering from postpartum, probably depression. And Joe is probably suffering from something too as well because he don't stop not wanting to have sex. And he thinks about the child and, family life and spending time with the kid together. And his main focus is, basically his family and securing the bag for their future, generational money and wealth too as well. But there's something in him too as well that is not ready to have sex 24/7, 7 days a week, 4 times a week, 3 times a week, 5 times a week like he used to. Then we got Mano. Mano's in the building. He's addressing the situation that went down with the Troy Ave and, Taxstone situation. His girlfriend, his joint. I don't know why he calls her a joint at his age. Maggie getting shot in the leg. She's a real ride or die chick. We got that situation. I was like, whoa. We got Yandy adopting kids for a storyline. You can't beat that situation. Then we gotta have Kimbella and Yandy going toe to toe, blow to blow. Then we have Rich Dollar situation with his children's mother facing time because she shot a man, and his 19-year-old daughter Ashley might have to take care of the 2 kids. Like, we getting real. We got Shotty in the business. Shotty's in the place to be. So we know Fetty Wap career is still going to be stagnant because Shotty's in jail. Troy Way's locked up. The main members of Troy Way's locked up. 6ix9ine's locked up. Shotty's locked up. And we got Alexis Skyy signing a record deal. She don't know whether she sing or rap. She just goes with the flow. She can imitate anything. I was just like, shit, what's really going on? I was like, damn, there's a lot of situation going on. Then we have, Remy Ma basically being busy and working and booked. And, her husband, Papoose, wants to make sure she takes it easy and everything goes good with the babies. And then we got Alexis Skyy actually being filmed next to, Fetty Wap. Fetty Wap really don't be filming on Love and Hip Hop, especially next to his baby mother or his children's mother that he's not claiming at this time and point. And that is a scary situation. Like, damn, you signing a deal and your man sitting right, your children's father, allegedly children's father, sitting there, and yeah, like it ain't no big deal. He don't want to take a blood test. He don't want to do a DNA test. You haven't seen him for 5 months. And you signing to the same record label as him. Something crazy with that situation. Then we find out Juelz is on drugs and been on drugs. He was taking a Percocet because of his dental problems. And sometimes you can have dental problems where I know some people have lost all their teeth before the age of 25. Some people have like severe gum disease and they're born with it, and it's hereditary and things like that too as well. But also if he's taking Percocet and he was drinking lean, he probably neglect brushing his teeth too as well. That could be a problem too as well. And when you're doing like heavy drugs, sometimes your teeth decay because of the drugs, the syrup. Was he doing Adderall? Adderall sometimes make your teeth decay too as well. So he was doing that lean. He was out here in the streets. We got Jacquay telling us he's now the new face of Sean John. And basically he's out here in these streets trying to make some money. He's moving around with Safaree, even though we had heard the rumor about him, being, playing for both sides of being bisexually. Allegedly, his ex-girlfriend said that about him. And now he's saying that he's single, ready to mingle. I'm like, okay, we really get into it. We're going down. Like, we got a lot of stories to cover and, on this show. So it seems like they're going to give us what we want. And there's a lot of faces we ain't seeing either, too, as well. And so let's get on to, we got Mano on the situation with Maggie getting shot. That was just like crazy. I remember how that went down. And Troy Ave is still out. I don't know if he's supposed to be dropping a dime. He's supposed to be snitching or whatever the case may be. Then we got Juelz. He's staying at his mother's house because, luckily his mom got a place to stay. Luckily she got a house. Luckily she got, shelter for him, because what if she didn't? Where would he be at? Because he's on home confinement right now. So it's just like, damn, it's going down. And it's real serious. Real serious. And then we have Sin. Basically, she's talking about, her sex life being over with Joe. They used to have sex 4 to 5 times a day. They're not having sex. She wants to go, she wants to have sex in the pool. And she tells Joe to go change, to put on, let me see some knees, let me see some legs, let me see that. And basically, he goes upstairs and he get the baby. And he was like, I'm home. I want to be here with you and the baby. Like, I don't want the baby to be with the nanny. Come on now. So as the situation going on, maybe Sin needs to get more busy too as well, and also seek out some counseling. And plus, she said that she just wants to feel like she's sexy and that she's loved too as well, because she used to be skinny. We know she was snatched to death, when she was first introduced on this show, being Erica Mena's girlfriend and everything like that, allegedly, whatever. And now, like, she's having some insecurities and she feeling like Joe doesn't want to have sex with her because she's a big woman. And we know Joe likes skinny things. He likes stripper bodies. And so maybe she's feeling a certain type of way about that situation. And, she wants to have sex with him, and he gets the baby, and then she jumps in the pool. She's talking about she wanted. Joe's tired. Joe just wants to be with her and sit around the house with the babies, because, he's doing pull-up. He's doing the Joe Biden podcast like 3 days a week, and he's doing it for the culture, and he's doing all other types of things too as well. So, it is what it is. And so we have that situation going on by the pool, and she's pretty upset about, not getting that nook from Joe. Like, what you gotta do, Sin, he's with, you call Joe a senior citizen. Maybe when you guys wake up next to each other in the morning, it's early in the morning, he should have the wood up, just jump on top of it, take care of your business like that. Something like, if you want to get it, but make sure it's not rape. Let me just throw that in there, because I know somebody will be commenting, that's rape. I don't mean it that way. So you have that situation going on. And then we have Safaree. He's happy. He's chilling with Joe. They're having a conversation. We know about the Dykeman incident. We know Joe talks about it on the Joe Biden podcast. They made fun of him. They called Safaree up too as well. Safaree got booed and all that other good stuff. And then he talking about he effed this one and that one females. And basically it was a bad look for Safaree. And it was a bad look for Safaree. So we have Safaree, Joe, and Rick. They meet up. They all talking. Basically, they're talking about the Safaree situation at Dykeman. Then they're talking about, Joe's talking about the sex situation and him wanting some sex. Maybe not in this part of the scene, but they're really talking about that basketball game at Dykeman that, Safaree is going to be going there and performing, and they're like wishing him luck. And Joe is like, yo, usually, people that perform at Dykeman is like a basketball game of people that have street music out there that are from the streets and got like a album or a song out, like a single out that is the shit. And, it's street music, and Safaree's not that too as well. And Joe also give us some insight that performing at Dykeman at the basketball game is actually a free event. It's not something that you get paid for. So he didn't even understand why Safaree was there in the first place, especially if he ain't no street dude. So we have them, talk about that situation. Joe brings his baby there too as well. Safaree's talking about he need a baby in his life and he need a girl. And then they question him about, the Lyrica and A1 situation. And Safaree says it's totally a lie. It didn't happen. Joe's asking Safaree, did you hump? Did you kiss? Did you masturbate? Did you dry hump? Did you do this? And so, Safaree was like, nah, it was straight lies. It was nothing happened between us and all of the other good stuff. So you have that situation. And then now we got Juelz and Kim talking about the jail situation, the gun at the, Juelz explaining to us about the gun situation. He was high on Percocet. He didn't even know what was going on. He didn't even know that, he had a gun in his luggage or whatever. He said he found out about the gun when we found out. I was like, okay, then you was high. You was getting them pills like it was nobody's business. You was taking them pills. You was popping. How many did you pop a day? 11 or 15? And you was probably drinking that lean too. You went to the airport, forgot you had all. I don't even know how you can move that high in public. Like, that's just crazy. How can you be that high in public, especially if you're a star, especially if people know you, people want to come up to you. There's no paranoia. Like, what the freak? But he's blaming it on the dental work, and then the reason why he got high Percocet. And that could possibly be true, because they talk about the soccer moms, they get in an accident or something, a car accident, they hurt something, and then they end up getting high off pills too as well. So, Juelz is telling us that he got high because he was introduced to Percocet while he was having dental work. But then he also said he was drinking lean too, and he was in his counseling situation. So was you doing both, or you was just drink lean is just as bad as Percocet, but then Percocet is easier to pop it and move forward and keep going. Like you get that nod and shit like that. Like why would you want to do Percocet? Ugh. So anyways, so he talks about the situation. He talks about that he was locked up and he actually got clean because he was locked up for 30 days. You know, you can get drugs in jail, but it seems like he got clean in jail and he wasn't taking any drugs in there. And so basically he's trying to put his life back together, and he's staying on his mother's couch. He's living in his mother's house. They show him in his little room, you know, trying to make music. Like, damn, you like Dipset was the shit. Like you got Juelz facing time, bringing a gun to the airport because he's intoxicated. You got, you know, Jim Jones basically getting caught down south, running from the police, like a high-speed chase allegedly, you know, caught with pills on him too and weed and shit like that. It's like, damn, this is what happened to Dipset. The drugs came in, huh? That's what happened. That's what it seems like what happened, but we'll see what happens with the situation because they haven't been putting out music like in a long time. So now they're doing shows because they both got bills to pay. You know, Jim Jones he got to be going back to court, and he got to pay some fees too as well. His case is still up in the air too as well. And I know Chrissy's feeling a certain type of way about that. So we have that situation. It's just like, damn. So now we got Kimbella. She's going to visit, you know, Juelz at his mom's house, like teenagers, like little kids, like starting all over. I bet if Kimbella could do it all over again, she would have chose a different rapper, or she wouldn't have chose a rapper at all. She would keep the kids, like you say, she would still have the same kids, but with a different man. She was fighting over Juelz. She thought he was the best thing since sliced bread, and look at the situation now. She can't even fucking, you know, contain herself. She can't even be happy. She can't really smile. She can't fake that funk anymore. She's just like, damn. I don't know, Kimbella. I don't know what you do for a living. I will probably raise the kids. It's just, and so Kimbella comes to the crib. You know, his mom got to be depressed too as well. You know, they probably love the help. He needed some help, man. He needed some help big time. That young, strung out, you know. Luckily, he got the help and he's still living because, you know, Mac Miller's not here. So moving on from that situation, they have the counseling, and basically Kimbella's talking about she's been a single mother and he got hooked on drugs and everything, and she felt like maybe it was her problem. I was like, damn, you was living this lifestyle and all this, everything was all good, but yet you was taking care of everything. He wasn't making music. This dude was on drugs. You was in the house running with the kids. And then he was cheating on you too as well. You had a lot of shit to put up with. I bet you if you can speak to a crowd of women, you'll tell them probably choose a different lifestyle, won't you? If your man shows any signs of doing drugs or being on narcotics or hanging around people that do narcotics, run away. It ain't the business. It ain't the lifestyle, because look where I'm at today. I'm taking care of all these kids by myself. And while he was out here running the streets, sleeping with this one and that one, and then he develops a drug habit, and now he might be locked up for either, 18 to 24 months or, 5 years. I know she was like, this ain't the business. This ain't what I signed up for. Oh, girl, I know. You better write you a book, Kimbella, because you've been going through some things. You've been going through some shit. So they in the counseling talking, and basically Juelz is apologizing to Kim for all the shit that he did. He could at least married her. That way his ass would have been home in their big old mansion studio if it's not rented. And so we have, at least his mother got a place to stay and he got a house for his kids. At least he did that, because a lot of them don't even do that. And at least he's trying to change and trying to make it right. So he's apologizing to Kimbella and telling her it's not her fault. It's nothing she could do. And basically just like, letting her know she went down the wrong path with him. She could have found somebody way better back then when she was doing them booty videos, and she was a video vixen back then and shit like that. So moving on from that situation, we get to Alexis Skyy. She's up there with Shotty. Shotty's looking good as shit. Shotty is a very attractive guy, but his lifestyle and the way he lives and the way he moves, oh no. I don't know if this is actually the first time Shotty ever managed people, so he was probably learning as he was going with Tekashi and the rest of Treyway, but he got, Fetty Wap So Alexis Skyy is in the studio. They signed the contract. We see Navarro, a lawyer, ass up in there handling his business. Entertainment lawyer handling his business, signing the papers. And so basically, Shadi's trying to school Alexis Skyy that she can't be having no drama, no beef. She can't be moving that way when they're doing business, when they're all together. Basically, because Fetty Wap's is signed to label too, so they got to move professional. All the personal shit got to stay at home. Yeah, you tell that to a woman that her ex ain't claiming the baby, ain't helping, ain't supporting, ain't around, and she's stressed out and she by herself. You tell her to calm down. You tell her to relax. Like, Shawty, you should know better. You from the streets. That shit don't work. Because it's too much emotional, especially if the baby's sick and the baby had all these problems where they both had to get blood transfusions and, they both almost lost their life. She wants a lot more from Fetty Wap. And especially if she's feeling like he's taking care of his other kids better, she made that choice to lie down with him and spread them legs, not use protection, and got a baby. He made that choice too, but the baby stuck with her and not with him, and none of his babies are stuck with him. They're all stuck with the woman. So daddy's maybe daddy's maybe mama's baby, daddy maybes. And that's the thing, that's how it is. That's why they always tell us girls, all us women, to be careful who we get pregnant by and protect ourselves, especially if you don't want to have a kid with somebody, because he can run and leave. You got to carry that baby for 9 months. This is with you, baby, and now you attached. You just can't give the baby away like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to be really selective of who you have a baby with. So she's with Fetty Wap thinking it was all good, and it ain't all good, especially if he put on the persona that he take care of his kids. So she's feeling like he's gonna take care of my kid too, and it didn't happen that way. He's denying it. She hasn't seen it for 5 months. Shawty's trying to tell her to do this, do that. You can't. You got to be professional. She's like, I'll try. And then who walks in the room? None other than Fetty Wap. He walks in the room. He was like, you got something to say to me? And she was like, what we talked about. Like, he had a straight face too as well. And it seems like Fetty Wap, Treyway, and Alexis Skyy was part of the deal to be on the show to film, and then they threw in, Navarro. They threw him in there too as well. So Fetty's just sitting there, but Alexis Skyy, she was looking fly than shit. She was looking fly. That, I don't know if it's a real fur coat, a fake fur coat, that pocketbook. She was drip. She was swaggalicious, and she got up and she walked away and she left. Shawty helped her put on her coat and she bounced because she didn't want to go through that with Fetty Wap at that time, because she wasn't going to get nowhere. Like, take the DNA test. Maybe it might be Solo Lucci baby. Solo Lucci said he thinks it's his baby because Fetty Wap and Solo Lucci was having sex with her at the same time. Solo Lucci said he was entering when he was leaving the house, Fetty Wap was coming, and when Fetty Wap was leaving, he was entering the house, because he said it's 2 hallways. She had a roommate, whatever. So it is what it is, but he should just get the test done and just handle his business just like that. So we have that situation, and basically, that's a lot for her to deal with by herself too as well. She has her family members and stuff like that, but having a sick child and then having that difficult pregnancy, that's a lot. That's traumatic for her, and not having the support, even though they ain't together, like some type of support, throw her a bone or something. But you know what? It is what it is. You make these decisions, you got to deal with the consequences of these decisions. So we have all that going on. But Fetty Wap was like, yo, I was there when you had the baby. So you was there when the baby was born. So basically, you feel like the baby could be yours. But so why won't you take the test, Fetty? What's one more child added on to your children? What's one more? So we have that situation, and it's all good. And then we have Mano, basically he's talking about, Maggie getting shot, and he ends up meeting up with Jacquay, Joe Buttons, basically. And Mano got something to say about, his girl getting shot. She has fully recovered and everything's good, but she's not really out here, like, because basically, she's probably dealing with post PTSD. She's probably dealing with that at the time right now. She was shot, man. Nobody thinks about they gonna get shot. So I guess that's the question to think about when you're rolling with Mano. Even though nobody was shooting at him, they just had to be at the same, they was at a location where shots just, came out. So we have that situation, and basically Mano is addressing, the Dykeman situation, and then we have, Jaquay talking about the situation with Dykeman, talking about like he was rolling with, Safaree. People started booing, throwing shit on stage, and then he started dissing Dykeman and whatever. And Mano is like, basic, you can't be dissing Dykeman, you can't be doing that. You got to show respect. And dude, you be talking about you got 100 here, you got you nobody's ever gonna rob you. You get robbed. You got a 9. You're talking all this street shit, but yet you ain't about that street shit. You need to pick a side. He's tired of these clowns that come in the rap business talking about that they talk these lyrics but don't live by the lyrics. And then basically with kind of like mirrors, him possibly, throwing Tekashi in that situation too as well, because now he's claiming he's not a gangster. He was just the image he was doing just to promote his music, just to get clout. And so you got Mano talking about he's not too keen. He's not really happy with Safaree. And, Mano will run up. But Mano has got, more mature. He's became more mature. So hopefully he doesn't run up on Safaree later on in the episode and try to get at him. Because that's something that I don't think Safaree's ready to face. We see Safaree, he's with security, especially after he got robbed. Mano was like, yo, I seen this dude at the studio, at the Breakfast Club crying and shit. Like, what's going on? What is he doing crying? Pick a side. Either pick a side about your lyrics. Like, be real with your lyrics. Stop being fake, this fake shit. And he's telling Joe this, and Joe was like, yeah, man. Joe's soaking up this information because he's gonna give Safaree a warning. And so Joe throws up in his situation like, my girl wants sex 24/7. She like, she's a nymphomaniac and all this other stuff, man. Mano was like, that sounds good, shit. I don't know if Mano and Joe are the same age, but Mano was like, shit, that don't sound like a problem. Joe was like, it is a problem. I think Joe's just shocked with fatherhood too as well. Just like women have post-traumatic syndrome too as well after pregnancy. Postpartum depression after pregnancy. I think Joe is suffering a little bit too as well, because men do suffer sometimes when their women have children too as well. They get different too, So we have that situation. The Dykeman situation was real funny. It was very cringe worthy. It was very terrible. I remember Joe on the podcast just cracking on Safaree, calling him up, talking about cracking on the song too as well. So we have that situation go on. So Mano basically is gonna do his thing, and then all that situation happened down with the tax stone. And so Alexis Skyy basically, she meets up with Sen, she meets up with Kimbella, and she meets up. And so they all meet up. So the 3 ladies meet up basically to like have a good time. Kimbella was like, I'm going through hell and back. This is just a relief for me. Kimbella looked like she was really released. She was really releasing some energy. Like she just really felt just good. She was just chilling. And then Sin was chilling too as well. But she's feeling like she needs some sex. And then you have Alexis Skyy, dealing with the situation. She's talking about the situation with Fetty Wap. You got Kimbella telling Sin that you need to just take it from him in the shower. Get it from him in the shower. Just jump on top of it. Run the hot water, get it hard and do this and do that. And it was like, oh shit, Kimbella ain't no, sprung chicken. She knows what to do. She knows how to hold down a dude. She's experienced. She knows what to do. She knows how to get that, wood going. And, Alexis Sky's acting like she's a virgin. And so is, saying like they're a virgin, never heard none of this shit. Kimbella teach you some tricks. Well, she's trying to tell Sen, you need to be happy that your man got a bag and he's out here providing, because my man is about to get locked up. He ain't providing. He's on drugs. Your man Joe done got clean. He done got like 4 or 5 jobs. You can actually be a stay-at-home wife, take care of the house and the business. All you got to do is know when to get it. You got to be aggressive. You can't wait for him to come get it. You got to take it, and men like that. So Sin is thinking about it, but Sin ain't hearing the message, but she probably hear the message now. If this is not all like a acting show, they're acting or whatever, pretending like they got issues, and they really don't, because Joe on his podcast, we don't really see no issues like this, but he does talk about he don't like having sex a lot. He's an old man. He's not even old. He just needs to start eating right and exercise and stop smoking cigarettes. Cigarettes make you tired. They put you out of breath. So moving on to that situation, you got Kimbella talking. You have Alexis Skyy talking about, I don't know, I just go with the flow. She's signed to Treyway. She's happy. And it seems like Sin is also excited too to be back on TV, whatever, and get back into the limelight. So I don't know if this experience being back on Love and Hip Hop is going to make her want to venture out and do more things outside of the home. And how is Joe going to feel about that situation? Because he wants family watching his baby. So so we have that situation going on, and her being on the same level with Fetty Wap. And, Joe Buttons, he ends up meeting up with Safaree at his house, basically trying to school Safaree and try to be a mentor and a friend to Safaree too as well, at the same time dissing him, calling him corny, like you're setting yourself up for a negative situation. Like, why were you at Dykeman when you don't get paid? You're not a gangster. That's street shit. You should be moving in a way where people can rob you. And basically just telling him, like, you just got robbed for your jewelry. Now you got jewelry back on it. You took you a month or 2 months. And Safaree was like, no, it took me 2 weeks. He was like, why would you go back and get all the jewelry, this and that? Because a lot of people think it was an insurance scam, but they did find somebody and arrest him too as well. But so he had insurance on the jewelry, so he probably got some money back. Then he probably got some more money to buy some more jewelry too as well. And so he, somebody steals something or takes something from you, sometimes you want to replace it. And basically Joe feels like he's being a target. Like, if somebody steal your car, you're gonna want a new car, but a car is like a necessity. The jewelry's not a necessity. You want to wait a while, let shit cool down, get your movement right, make sure you got the right people around you. So that's what Joe is trying to basically tell Safaree, like, you putting a walking target. Why do you need to have all that drip on you? You don't need all that jewelry on you. You don't need all that. Like, that's way too much. You're a calling card to get robbed. Like, a dude that's hungry is gonna be like, I can feed off of you. And basically that's what Joe is telling Safaree, and also talking about, Safaree doing a diss track to Dykeman or whatever, replying to him getting booed and shit thrown on the stage. And basically Joe said, you don't want to do that. When I see you perform, I see a lot of white people. And then Safaree said, well, there is women. And so we have that situation. He was like, well, then you should know who your audience are and cater to that, and stop with this street shit and this gangster shit that you got a 9 and somebody robbed you, this and that. Stop that, because you're going to be asking for shooters and hitters and real criminals to come after you, and you ain't about that life and you ain't ready. So it kind of like to deal with some of Safaree being immature and actually not having a father too as well, because he would move a lot better than the way he is moving. And yes, he comes off as corny, but he is a nice dude. But he puts himself in a situation where he can always get played. Just like supposedly Ray J played him with that, A1 and, Lyrica situation, which wasn't a good look for him too as well. So, so he's basically trying to school Safaree. And then we get on to, Sin going up to Joe Budden's show. Basically I seen this show too as well, like you that live performance on stage, and basically saying, what was your best relationship? He was like, he was like, yours, me and you, I love you so much. So they get in the car. So Rory and Maul talking about Joe Budden not filming for Love and Hip Hop. Love and Hip Hop was there when filming that particular part, and also filming the scene of them in the car, unless they took footage from that scene that actually happened, and then filmed them riding in the car together. So now, Sin and Joe's riding in the car. She got a hotel room. She's ready to do the nasty. She's ready to get things going. She's ready to get everything popping, and it doesn't go down that way because Joe just wants to go home to go to sleep. And he's telling the driver, take your ass to New Jersey. And that's when, Sin was like, stop the car and get out. She gets out, she's running. Joe was like, oh my gosh, she's so immature. She's acting like a baby and all that other bullshit. And she was like, you're making me, I'm trying to feel comfortable with my body. I'm trying to feel secure and blase in the third. And Joe's not trying to hear it. He just want to go home and go to sleep. She said, if you go home and go to sleep, we ain't gonna do the nasty. We didn't do the nasty in the car, no sir. You got a Lyft driver. And you see the horse and carriage guy try to give him a ride while they riding in the vehicle. So they're moving on from that situation. I guess, they finally get it together. And she got a hotel room. Hopefully she get her deposit back. But it don't matter because Joe is ballin'. So moving on from that situation, we finally see, Juelz, he's with his kids. They're at the park. They're having a good time. But they got a special request. They asked for a special request from the judge where Juelz can come out and chill, have a family outing, and everything's going good. But Juelz get that phone call from the lawyer telling him he can take this plea deal, get, 18 to 24 months, or he can take it to trial and possibly get 5 years. I'll say the 18 to 24 months, because you came there with your luggage. If you can prove that was somebody else's luggage and somebody else is gonna take that L from you, you can't prove that. They got cameras of you walking into the airport with the luggage and putting it on a thing, and they check it, and boom, it's yours, and your ID's left behind and everything. Unless you have Johnny Cochran, he's not here no more, God bless the dead. I don't know how you're going to get off unless you have an attorney that is friends with the judge. I have no idea. So it seems like the 18 to 24 months is a better deal than you being clean, going to counseling. You probably should enter another, probably should be going to Narcotics Anonymous too as well, to show the judge and take some classes or something like that. So anyways, now Kim is stuck with this special delivery that she's actually going to be without him. That means what about the bills getting paid? So it's a good thing that they both got on the show and they're doing the show. Damn. Peace. I'm out. One love. This shit done got real on this show. Peace. I'm out. One love.